Hey, Kelly. Hey, Judy. I'm just sharing out here really quick. Hey, everybody. If you could share out, I'd appreciate it. That's what I'm doing right now. La-di-da-di-da. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Hey, Diane. Hey, Shelly. Shelly. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm ready to do some readings. Let's do this. Whoop, whoop. But first, thank you for the Go Populars. Share out some more. If you guys can share out some more. Oh, I got actually. I want to do some readings tonight. Let's get on the list. Boop, boop. Hey, Amy. I got some news, a little bit of news. Hey, Regina. The wind keeps knocking everything over out there. Dr. Pepper. Hey, Teresa. Okay. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Christy. Oh, Dr. Pepper Peeps? No, I don't like marshmallows. All right. So today was my day off. No baby. But she called at 7:30 this morning. I miss you. I want to come over. So, long story short, she didn't come over till 10. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah. But at least her son, my son was with her, so it was kind of like I just got to have fun and not be the bad guy. And get this. Hey, Jared. You guys remember my niece that was in labor about a week ago? And the baby was breech, very badly breached. They even said like his leg would probably be up like this when he's born. She has been having contractions again, I guess. And they went back to the hospital, but they were like every 3 minutes, lasted for a minute and a half. Which I don't think she's in labor yet, but guess what? They did a sonogram and he flipped. They just done a sonogram 3 days ago and he was still breech. Next schedule is cesarean. I said, yes. He's like his Aunt Daba. That's what I did. I was breech until 1 week before I was due. Or 1 week. I was due Halloween. But they let me go over. And I turned in that last week. Yay! So she doesn't have to have a cesarean. That's so awesome. So, it's just now for sure that he's just lazy and waits till last minute procrastinator, just like Aunt Deba. Yeah, Regina. I guess they don't deliver breech babies anymore. I know. We've been having fun making fun of him, though, for being breech. Especially that breech. He was just like, his legs were like up here. So, fun. Oh, darn it. I was going to go live on my backup account tonight. So, watch my stories, because I am going to go live on my backup account sometimes to try to see if I can get rid of these extra special guests that are in here flooding our chat all the time. Thank you, Mike. Hey, Tanya. It's message for you. Message for you. Same profile pic. Well, I haven't started the NDE stuff, guys. I want to, but I don't know where or how to start. We need to find some people that's had NDEs. And go from there. Which I know we just got to go live and they'll come to us, but yeah. Has anybody in here had an actual NDE? That's right, Diane, you have. Here, you want to come up and tell it? Let's start like that. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Allison. Look at those stickers, Star. So on the blocking tonight, let's make sure, if you're not 100% sure if they are the special guest, let's just mute them. I did see, I went on the blocking list last night. There was 3 of our regulars on the block. I'm like, oh no! But I could have done it myself too, so who knows? Yeah, it happens. That's why I always tell everybody to follow Mandy. And that way, if you get blocked and you're a regular person, then, like they did last night, they messaged her and she came in and told us. Thank you, Diego. Thank you, Shelly. If you're just joining, if you don't mind to share it out. And if you're just joining, the baby that was breech has now turned. Woo-hoo. Yeah, Alice, it's so easy to do, especially when there's so many of them in here, you know, doing. I don't get upset about it, though. I'm just like, it happens. Thank you for the FYP. Okay, is there any new ones in here? Is there anybody new that we need to welcome to the zoo crew? If you're new, put a whole bunch of emojis in chat. I don't know what to do to send it out. Hey, Abroho. Hey, Abroho. We got to get out there to more people, too. All right, when we get this to, oh, you guys are already at 10:04. When we get that to 25, we're going to do a thank you read. Diego, I'm chewing gum. Gum. You know what? I didn't even mean to, but I ran across it last night looking, just scrolling like on Google. And it's came across gum chewing and mediumship. And I'm like, I guess in some ways, it's meditation. I'm like, not for me. I'm like, so anyway. Hey, Karen, how are you? Okay, okay. Abe Ho. I don't know if I'm going to call you Abe Ho or Abro Ho. I think I like Abro Ho. Thank you for the gum. A-ho. I'm going to call you an A-ho. There we go. Hi, Karen. Hey, T. Thank you for that FYP. You guys could tap, share, repost, FYP me. That's why I'm calling you A-ho. A-ho. Oh, that was wolves out there. Am I freezing for anybody else? Am I freezing for anybody else? Cindy wants to know. No, yes, no, no, no. Okay. Hey, Mandy. Okay, so if you guys are not following Miss Mandy, give her a follow. Fire trucks. My nephew's a fireman out here. When I hear a lot, I always like, he loves it though. Freezing and repeating. Try going out and come back, see if that. Oh, it's just a little, if you click on the original post, it's just saying something about other mediums need another medium to lean on, or so they can understand them, this and that, blah, 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 type like that. I thought, well, Mandy's my girl. She's the only one. Oh, yeah, if you click on the actual post. Why does it keep telling me to produce music content for a chance to get featured in Music Live? La-da-la-da-da-dee-da. Hey, Hanson. Okay, guys, list is open. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Thank you, Mandy, for the heart puffs. Mandy, have you realized even mine have gone down? Cut in half by about half. Oh, thank you. That's pretty. I think it was worded weird towards the end. Oh, you didn't understand. Okay. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. Is that what TikTok wants me to sing? Is anybody friends with it's me ... Steph? If so, can you message her and let her know that I unblocked her? Not really, Axe. What's your question? Star. I may have done that one by mistake. I don't know. All right. Well, actually, you can get on the list. It's 35. And I do readings and do let you ask questions at the end, if you want to do that. Hey, Mike Hawk. I remember you. Wait a minute. Because is that really your name, or is that kind of a funny username you came up with? I remembered you in Invisible's page. I don't know, Axe. Just send in $5. That's fine. Okay. So every time when I was on somebody else's page and they'd say your name, I would just, because I'm 12, you know, I'm 11 or 12-year-old immature. And I thought, I wonder if he's real or what. Have you had an NDE, Mike? I'm willing to do NDE stories if people have them and want to share them. Aho, no, I'm not freezing. Is it cold where you're at? Oh, look at that. We're at 25K. We're going to do thank you read. My cock. Are you... Are you my favorite NDE? Were you an atheist before? I kind of almost like my cock now. Oh my gosh, Mike, you were my all-time favorite story. Okay, Mike. You should come up. You want to come up and tell your story? Like all the stories I heard, yours was always my favorite. Always. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to bring him up and then we'll do the thank you read after this, guys. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good today. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I always thought Mike that's in here now, Mike K, I always thought in the beginning that was you. But then I could never remember what your whole name was, you know. But your story is amazing. So if you want to share it with everybody, they would appreciate it, I'm sure. It's absolutely amazing.
I appreciate you asking me up. I've tried to connect with you a few times. I really enjoy what you do, but I feel like my timing's been off with you.
So yeah. But there's always a reason and reason for when we connect and all that. So that's awesome.
Well, I feel like right now it just changed. It's we're on the same timeline now, so I appreciate it.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, I'll put my end on mute and I'll let you tell everybody the story. So, well, before, does everybody know what an NDE is in here? A near-death experience? He's going to tell us his experience of his NDE. Okay, I think I will mute my end. I'm not sure how to do that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Michael and I was born and raised in San Diego, and when I was 22 years old, I was in a motorcycle accident that I passed away from, and I'll just kind of go through it. And I was at a stoplight that's very close to, literally, maybe a half a mile from where I'm living right now, where I'm sitting right now. And I was at a stoplight, and the light was red for me. And I was the next vehicle to go through the light, and I was rear-ended from behind by a drunk driver. And Never really felt the impact. Felt some movement, but not the impact. There was a protection there that was pretty amazing, and I found myself floating above a body. There's a bus stop, and I was basically felt like I was at the height at the top of the bus stop, and I was looking at this body in the street, and it ended up being mine, but I didn't really recognize myself because I think about this so much. I can only assume that we only see ourselves in like one dimension, a mirror or a picture. And to see yourself in 3D, I just absolutely didn't recognize that this person laying in the street was me. And the very moment that I realized, oh, that's me, I started shooting up into the sky. And incredibly fast. Felt like I was in an elevator that was just going supersonic speed. I didn't really have any visuals at that point. Before all this, I always forget this part, but this is the most important part. Before all this, I was an atheist. Didn't believe that anything existed. Didn't know what would exist. And didn't put much time into thinking about it. And after this experience, that all changed. But I shot up into the sky and kind of came to incredibly quick. I mean, just supersonic speed. And so it's like, I don't know where I went, but I went there a long way and very fast. And when I got there, I was just surrounded by this amazing light that was incredibly bright, but not uncomfortable at all. It was just amazing. And the love and acceptance was just beautiful. And I was standing with all I can say is God. And the God that I encountered was big enough to be all gods that whatever religions we've come up with here, it was big enough to be all of those, Buddha, Christ, and my point behind that is that I believe no matter what your beliefs are, if it gets you closer to God, that's what God is doing. Anyway, this God that I encountered and never even believed in was just so humongous and so big that he was every God that you can imagine. And from that moment, I had a life review that went from that day backwards, which always sounds silly, but I heard it's pretty common. From that day backwards, and I relived what I believe was every moment, every thought in my entire life, and how those thoughts or actions affected others. And before this experience, I wasn't thoughtful of others. I don't believe that I understood what caring was about. And in this moment, I realized how every action that you do affects others. And it could be a good action and feel amazing, or it could be something that's kind of disappointing and it's hurtful. And you feel these emotions. What I was feeling was so incredibly quick that my emotions were just bouncing back and forth from amazing to just complete disappointment. And when I could have done better, the judgment, people talk about like Judgment Day or the judgment is actually what I experienced was me judging myself with this God again that I never even believed in. And I'm standing there knowing when I could have done better, or when I did amazing, or when I did terrible. Yeah, and the pain is deep, but the joy is amazing when you've done what you're supposed to do. I feel like I'm rambling, but the there was only 2 moments in my life in my life review that I remembered and brought back with me. During this time, there was just like this knowledge, which I would just call complete knowledge. There was no communication, no questions that I had to ask of this God, because I already knew the answer, which is takes a lot off your shoulders, just wondering or questioning things. And to have that complete knowledge during this short time was very, very, I guess, enlightening. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a lot of that knowledge back with me, but there were 2 moments in my life review that I get so emotional about it because it's just so real. But one of them was literally holding the door for somebody. And I felt like I had done everything I was supposed to do in life in that moment. And the other one even sounds more silly, and every time I tell the story, it just seems silly, but it because of its silliness, it really shows me what's important. And the other one was that I was walking out of a movie theater, just about getting to the lobby, and realized I shouldn't have left my garbage underneath my seat. So I walked back up and I picked up like my popcorn and my soda and anything else we had left, and I dropped it in the trash can. And again, it was as though that was the entire reason I had been put here on this planet. And it just really showed me that life is about very little about us and more about others. And it's absolutely changed everything I do and the way I live. But at that moment, I started all that distance that I had shot up into the sky. I started falling, and it was a long ways. And that was the first time during this experience that I felt any fear, because I didn't know what it was going to feel like when I hit bottom. And I was falling very fast. And when I did hit bottom, I meaning back into my body, it was like abrupt but not painful, but very sudden. And I believe that was the moment that they resuscitated me in the back of this ambulance. And it had been 18 minutes from the original 911 call until that moment when they resuscitated me. And yeah, that was kind of the end of the story.
That is awesome. You know what I loved about, thank you for sharing that with us, but the first time I heard that, I thought the little things you do, the holding the door and picking up your trash. I've always tried telling people, everybody's like, oh, what's my purpose? What? We don't have this huge purpose. Like you said, it could be holding that door. And every since I heard that story, when I am in a public place, I hold that door. And it's kind of crazy. I think the same thing. It's stupid. Why do I keep doing this? But I do it every time I think of you, and I think of God. Every single time I use a public place, I hold that door. Not so I can get brownie points, but it just, to me, something that small of a gesture can really change somebody's day. It really can.
Absolutely. And then they'll hold the door for the next person, which may hold the door for 2 other people, and within, or share a smile with somebody. It's literally that. And
Yes. Yes. One little thing could, a chain reaction, make somebody else's life a lot better for that day or something, you know? Um, so did you like, and I know this is stuff like we're not supposed to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So you was up there with God. I mean, did he talk to you at all?
no, and that's kind of what I was saying about there was no questions. There was a telepathy there
Right.
that any question I may have had, I don't even remember registering that I asked him anything.
Okay. Yeah.
But I believe I knew it all, which just sounds pompous as shit. But
Yeah. No, I know
you
what you
know,
mean. Yeah.
there was an absolute knowledge that I wish that we wish that we'd be able to bring all that back with us, but we can't.
Right.
And there was just an absolute knowledge that absolutely affects the way I handle every situation in my life now. And I'm not amazing, but
Right. Right.
I'm thoughtful because
Right.
it's truly just a being thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And during your life review, I've always wondered, I mean, it's not pain, right? You're just feeling their emotions. There's the sadness that you may have caused other people and stuff like that. Or
It's
is that,
emotions. It's emotions, but the pain in those emotions is incredible. And I believe that literally, I've never broken it down this much, but there's a difference between doing something that might be wrong, and we'll just call it wrong,
hmm
or doing something that's is wrong. Shiloh, please. Doing something that is wrong. Sometimes let's imagine if we didn't know that lying is wrong and we told a lie.
hmm
It wouldn't be okay, but we didn't know any better. But then once you understand what a lie is, when you tell a lie, there's a different consequence
consequence.
because
Yeah.
now you know better, and it's part of our growth. But there was some incredible, I would call it pain. It's emotional pain. There's no
Right.
physical pain that I felt, but I literally could believe. And I never want to step on anybody's beliefs or religion.
hmm
Again, the God that I interacted with was big enough to be all of them. Um,
Well, Mike, I tell you, and that's kind of part of the story too, because like a lot of your story related to a lot of what Spirit has told me through the years. Okay. Now, I'm not like Bible thumping this and that. I believe in God. I believe there's a heaven. I used to believe there was a hell. I personally don't believe that now. Kind of on the fence with it.
that's Sorry to interrupt. That's where I was going. I don't believe there's a physical hell.
Not
From
like
what
you're
I
taught
was
in
shown.
churches, a burning hell where you're going to
Yeah.
suffer.
Yeah,
No,
and that's where I was heading, but I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go
no,
ahead.
you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead. But I mean, so you agree there's not a cast into hell, the burning hell, and burning and miserable torture for the rest of eternity, right? You don't believe in that anymore either.
Nothing yeah,
Yeah,
nothing that I experienced would even lead me to believe in that.
right.
Um, what I experienced it was that I had this complete knowledge, and if I were you, I think there's a place with fire and
Yeah,
and um, isn't what I experienced. It's
right,
real hard to say that I came back and don't remember everything, but tell you I don't believe that there's a hell.
right.
I believe that the hell that I experienced could have been just doing things not as good as you could have, or
hmm
treating people badly. I believe
Right.
that could be hell. And imagine being somebody that's hurt many people or just
Yeah,
killed millions
right.
of people. That could be a hell that standing in front of a God, whether you believed in them or not, that could be a hell that's incredibly painful.
Right. And a lot of people may think, um, and I'm the same way, no judgment on religion. I don't get hung up on that anymore. But if you think of like people that's going to burn in hell type of thing, that would be people that are bad to kids or, unalive other people, and then atheist, right? I mean, honestly, if you think of it that way, if you don't believe in God, how can you get there? And I love how your story proved that like God doesn't, he loves us all, and he understands. Like, you went there and you didn't believe in him, and he showed you it was real. He was real. And I also, what I was getting at, part of your story resonated with me. Like I said, like what Spirit has told me. I went to church. I was taught that there's a burning hell. I was scared of God. That's what they teach you in churches. And then Spirit finally made me realize years ago when I first started doing this, I was hung up. I had read an atheist that had passed, and I almost stopped doing readings because I thought, I'm not connecting to the right people, the wrong side. I'm connecting people in hell. So I was worried, And Spirit told me, they said, religion doesn't even exist up there at all. It's not even, it don't matter. They said you can believe in God, Buddha, not believe in God, this and that, blah, blah, all these different things. But when we get there, it's all the same person. They told me, Debbie, even if somebody walks up to you and tells you that they worship a frog, you accept them, and you be nice to them. And I'm like, a frog? Frog? They said, yeah, because it doesn't matter. We all just have a different name for him. That's all it is. That's all it is. So when you were talking about that before, I thought,
I'm sorry, who told you that?
Spirit World, when I was doing readings. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
And I thought I was crazy. I'm thinking all this in my head. I've lost my mind, But that is so true. Like, and I don't like telling people, oh, going to church don't matter. I mean, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But the most important thing is the relationship that you have. But then again, with God. But then again, I find it amazing, someone like you that didn't even believe in him, and he still was welcoming and loving, and right? You were going to go to the other side. So it just proves that people here on earth, plain and simple, don't know what they're talking about when a lot of times when it comes to religion and stuff, That's my opinion of it. So yeah, like Abra says, church is in your heart. The building is for a status. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing because we all, I believe it's all of our mission is to get close to God. Mm-hmm. We've all got a different route that we get there.
Yeah.
And it's, again, like I said, the God I experience is definitely big enough to be all of them. It's crazy that so many deaths have come from different religions, but there's so many different religions, and they're, right or wrong, their whole purpose is to get people closer. So whatever it takes for each of us to get there, it's great. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that so many wars have been fought over. Without getting, political about it, but it's just
I know.
Crazy.
I know.
But we're all getting there. We're all on our way.
Yep. And the whole purpose, like all these NDEs that I hear, it's not, I mean, yes, God we're supposed to believe and love and this and that in God and this and that. But their biggest message when they come back is just love one another, be kind, and that's, I don't know, that's just always amazing to me. I think that's,
Yeah. I know you mentioned something, if you don't mind.
No,
this is absolutely, so I've only really been on this journey of, I don't know. I'll share real quickly a little bit, but
No rush at
after
all.
after my experience, I came back to this life and went through a recovery process. But as soon as I came back, I just wanted to live after having this near death experience. Just wanted to live, but then it didn't take long for this gift for me to turn it into a curse. And I wanted to be there so badly that I lived 30 something years with depression after that experience, which really kind of flipped the whole gift that I had been given. And
What
instead,
gift
I
was that? Now, being on the other live, we've learned that a lot of people do come back with gifts. What gift did you come back with?
I meant the gift of the near death experience.
Oh, okay.
Um, I
Okay.
believe I changed. I don't know which of my gifts came from that, but what I meant was I was given this huge gift of being able to see how my life affects others. And I turned it into a curse somehow and wanted to be there so badly because it felt so good that this was a hard place for me to be. So I 30 years of depression, got some help through therapy and kind of understood it a little better. Started, it was only like 6 or 7 months ago that I started going back to therapy because I started getting depressed again. And when I started going back to therapy, the first, all of these issues come from this amazing gift, the near death experience. So I shared that with my therapist, and we talked about NDEs for 4 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, the first night, she said, "You got to share your story." And this happened to me in 1992, and there was no internet. There was no way to look up a near death
Right.
experience. Um, my therapist was like, "You got to share this story." And I think literally it was that night that I came on TikTok and came across Invisible. I feel like it was that same
Really?
night, maybe the next day. And I was able to share and realize this purpose that I've looked for all this time
Mm-hmm.
in my life, and thought it had to be something so big, may just be sharing that story and being thoughtful of others.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that that's all of our missions that we search for. It's just loving others and being thoughtful.
Yep. 100%. One hundred
But
percent.
we're looking for this amazing thing. What was my life purpose? You know what? Maybe just holding the door with your life
Holding the
purpose.
door, and I'm telling you, I will remember that to the day I die. I will. And I've even thought, man, if he ever wrote a book, he should title it "Hold the Door," or "Please Hold the Door," or something like that. Because to me, that was just such a. I don't know about others, but to me, that just shows exactly. It has. No, it doesn't have to be big, like you said. It could be something as simple as holding that door. It's just amazing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
for
I
sure.
just loved it. Um, Now, was the therapist? Well, obviously, it sounds like they were open to accepting what you told them. But did you have you ran across anybody that doesn't believe it, or especially in the medical field, sometimes they wouldn't. Was it hard to find a
I never
therapist
have.
that believed you?
Nobody. No, no, um,
Good.
no. I've had a couple. I've had some great therapists, and
Good.
they were all real accepting of my stories.
Good. Awesome. I've told one doctor in my life that I communicate with the other side, and they went, "I won't put that in your files." And I went, "Never again will I tell a doctor that I communicate with the other side." But yeah. Um, What was the other thing I was going to ask? Does anybody in chat have anything to ask them? Little things feel pain. Ask that one. Did you end up with a lot of injuries from this, or did you fully recover?
I broke my back in 3 places. My pelvis and my right hip were in bad shape. My leg, there was a compound fracture that just below my knee. That was one of the things when I was looking at my body from above. I didn't recognize myself, but I recognized that guy's legs shouldn't be twisted up backwards like that.
Right.
And then that was when I kind of realized that was me. But yeah, it took. But you know what? I feel like the recovery could have been a lot worse. It took me 9 heavy months to recover from a lot of my stuff, but I'm fully okay now, and I ride daily, and
I was going to ask that. Do you still ride?
I do, and it's hard to understand. But at this point in my life, I've lost everybody that was important to me has passed away recently. And I hate to say it that way because my 2 daughters are still here. But I one of the things I realized that I really missed was riding motorcycles, and it brings me some joy. That I don't know. It's real hard to explain, but I love it.
Understand it. I mean, you got to still live life. And I mean, what's as horrible as it is, the worst that could happen is you would just go back there, right? To where you want to go. Also, you saying you were depressed after and this and that. I watch a lot of NDE stories, and I have for years. And that is one thing that most of them say they're so depressed afterward. They go through a big depression stage afterwards because they want to go back there, So some in chat are asking, did you come back with any abilities?
That's a question that when I do share, a lot of people ask, and I feel that I'm in touch with others in a way that I don't know. Maybe they call it an empath, and I don't know that that's related. I know that before my experience, I could give a shit about anybody else.
Yeah.
After this experience, my thoughts are different, and the way I feel is different. But I don't know how to categorize what gift that is.
Yeah. I'm sure you are empath now, and I think the biggest gift is being able to come back and tell this story to everybody. I think it's just absolutely amazing. I really do. Let's see, whatever. What else did everyone say? See, I see how if I had
other people leave the.
What?
You've heard a lot about people being depressed, but when I've heard other stories on here, I'm not hearing that part, but I just kind of related to when I tell my story, it just goes right past that part. And sometimes I catch myself because that is a huge part that I forget how depressed. And so I think a lot of people don't share that part because I've never heard it from anybody else, but I hear from other people that are catching that part that tell me that it's pretty common.
Well, for one, because I'm big on being open about if you have depression, and I think people with depression, I'm one of them, they just kind of get thrown to the side. So I don't know if people just feel more comfortable telling me because they know I suffer from depression. I'm on meds for depression, and a lot of times people look down on that. But Diane says she had depression after her NDE. My cousin that's in here is a nurse, and she's done CPR on a lot of people, and she's actually been like doing the CPR, bring them back, and she said their first thing they look up and they're like, "Why the hell did you bring me back?" You know, that
Oh
type of
yeah.
thing. Yeah, yeah. And she said I'm pretty sure she said they're depressed afterwards. So that's very common because you go, I think, from that great place back to here. And like somebody said in chat, I too believe that this is hell, so to speak. Earth is hell, you know, in a way. Yeah. But what do I know? She's the one that's my cousin that's a nurse. She goes, yeah, they are. They are depressed after being revived. If they've been seeing the other side. Michelle, you did too? Yeah, so it's common. It's very common.
It's crazy because I had gone again. This happened in 1992, and the only person I shared it with was my mother, and she always had a big library, and she walked into her library, and this is 1992, and she walked in and came back with a little paperback and handed it to me, and it was a book called Life After Life by Dr. Raymond Moody.
Mm-hmm.
And he had done the original research on near death and yeah, I guess discovering or
Yeah.
doing research into near death experiences.
Yeah.
So that
I don't
helped me.
know. I don't know if I've actually read that one, but I've read and I don't like to read, but if I get a good book on NDE, I just won't come. I'll just stay with it till I read it all. Um the very first one, I think Heaven is for Real got me kind of started. I didn't realize people were writing about it because, like you said, back in the day, there wasn't internet and stuff for people to talk about it. And then I also read one, is it called 7 or 9 Minutes in Heaven or something like that? Absolutely amazing. I think that's the one where the guy gets in the bad car wreck and they pronounce him dead. Have you read that one?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it?
They pronounced him dead, had him covered. A priest was caught in the traffic from the wreck, and he came up. He felt this urge. He said something kept telling him to go up and pray for the guy, whoever's in the wreck. And he had to dig in there underneath the tarp and was praying on this guy. And he said it was like such an overbearing thing to get out and do this for this guy. And when he was praying on him, he woke back. The guy came back.
Wow.
And this whole journey, this guy's whole story, it was amazing. And
I'll
then
check it out. The story sounds familiar, but I'll check it out and see.
yeah, they made a movie about it, but the book is so much better.
All
So
right.
much better. And then there was also one called I don't know what it's called. I can't remember the name of it, but it was written by a neurosurgeon, and he said he had so many patients that would be like, "Oh, I died and I came back," and he said, "No, you didn't. That's just your mind." It's just he never believed in it, and he got sick with I think it was meningitis or something, and he passed away and had an NDE, and he even when he woke up, like because he was pretty much brain dead, there was no activity in his head, in his brain. So he came back and he told his story, but then he was also in the book, he was talking about he scientifically proved it was not just his brain making this up, And he also was an atheist.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good books out there about it. So, but yeah. But I'm glad that you found back in here, found me because I'm serious. I was always asking Invisible, where's the mic with the story about holding the door, and he was, yeah, he just, yeah. So he had brought you up a couple times, but I couldn't ever catch you on or remember what your username was. So
What time do you come on?
I usually come on around 7 or 7:30 every night. Hey, when you was over there, I wanted to tell you also, or ask you also, I had a neighbor that had an NDE when I lived in Florida, and I didn't know it till after he passed away, and I was talking to his wife. So did you see any other spirits when you were there?
I didn't. No.
And did you have a body?
No.
No.
And didn't put a whole lot of thought in it. But no, my body, so when I did separate my body from my body, and this is something I forget a lot, but it's very powerful, is when, again, I didn't feel any impact from the accident, but as I was separating from my body, there was this feeling of like a Velcro, a tearing, that same feeling that you feel when you tear Velcro open, that same sound. Um, and that's when I separated. Um, but no, I didn't visually see a whole lot other than my entire life. I mean, it's
Right.
hard to say I
Right.
didn't see a lot
Right.
because I relived my entire life. And when I relived it, it was just like right now, if you were to turn around and look at the dream catcher on your wall, that it's a 360. You relive it. You don't re-see it. I didn't visually watch it. I relived it. And it was absolutely three-dimensional, very quick, um, but no interaction between me and anybody I had lost before then.
So, okay. So when you say that I mean, your life, like, are you talking? I've always wondered this too. Like from birth, do you get to see yourself like as a baby all the way? Or is it just like when you get older?
So mine was from that day backwards, which is very, very hard to explain, but somehow I comprehended it and relived it as
Mm-hmm.
if it was going forward, but it went backwards.
Yeah.
Very hard to
I
explain.
totally
I've
understand.
heard other people say this now, but I don't remember being a baby. I remember being how amazed that I remembered that thought, not even an action, but a thought. And those kind of stood out here and there, like, oh my God, my thoughts, my
Uh-huh.
thoughts. Were we looking through my thoughts? And
Which that could be
that,
scary, huh?
yeah. And and through all of these experiences, whether I had done amazing or done horribly, there was a forgiveness that was already complete. I didn't have to, there was no bullshitting your way through it and saying, oh, I didn't mean to tell that lie, or I didn't
Right.
mean that to do that, because it was just so honest and so real.
Yeah.
And the entire time, and sometimes we're very, very painful. Painful meaning emotionally, but
Right.
already knowing that it's forgiven, it's just you're facing yourself going, damn, I really could have done better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was going to ask you that too. That was on my list of questions here. Even though you're feeling that pain, it's not like you felt like God was sitting here going, "You're horrible. You're horrible." You said it was instant forgiveness right away.
Yeah, immediate. Um, yeah.
That is so awesome. That's so awesome. And I'm curious to see, that's why I asked you about if you've seen your body or anybody else's body. Um, the neighbor next to me, his wife was telling me that he had had an NDE. This was after he passed, and she said that it was like he was just going almost like a conveyor belt, but it wasn't a conveyor belt. Some were coming this way, and he was going this way, and he happened to look down, and his body was kind of like a bluish tint. Um, Hold on, I got to do the puzzle. A bluish tint, see-through gel. And I was like, I'd never heard that. Well, I went home a couple days later and was watching my NDE stories, and this guy was telling his NDE, and he said my skin was kind of like a bluish see-through gel. I thought that was cool. That
Wow.
kind of validation for me. Um, and something else Spirit tells me all the time. Let's say, okay, so obviously you were hurt in this wreck, but Spirit always tells me kind of like right before the actual pain or injuries hit, God will take you from that. and they don't feel nothing, you know? So I was wondering with you, before you went up, do you remember, other than just that little jolt, do you remember any pain of like breaking your leg or all the injuries that you had?
No, and I believe that's exactly what it was. It's very hard to describe, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe there was a protection there,
Yeah.
and I believe that this is something I would hope to not be wrong with, but I believe that it's like that in all situations.
Mhm. That's what
We're
Spirit World has
protected.
told me. That's exactly what Spirit World has told me. I've literally been sitting in a reading, and the lady, I always tell this one because it's one that always sticks in my mind. I was kind of like, she's sitting here in the car driving, and I was kind of like looking right here, and she was taking me with her to show me what happened. And all of a sudden, we're driving, and I see over here there's a semi coming, and this semi just went, and I looked down, and it looked like a tree was cut. You could see down in, and I went, oh, 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 oh. And I thought, what is the spirit doing? They're showing me this. And then I look out the window, and the other half of her is on the outside of the car. And I went, oh my gosh, what are you showing me? And I said, why are you showing me this? Why are you showing me? I was kind of upset. In my head, I'm telling her, why are you showing me this? I don't want to see that. And she said, because it didn't hurt, and my family needs to know that. And I said, did this really happen to you? Because I didn't want to say this to the family, without knowing. She said, yeah. She said, but God takes you a split second before this happens, and you don't feel nothing. So I'm like, great. How do I tell these people this is what they're? So I don't remember how I did it, but I said, was she hit by a semi? And they said, yeah. And I said, and she was in the car? Yeah. Was she driving? Yeah. Now I'm getting to the gory part because I look at passings and stuff different. That's not gory to me, but to a loved one sitting here. And I said, I don't know the extent of her injury, but she's showing me part of her here and part of her. And they said it cut her in half. And
Oh,
half of her body was outside the car. And I went, okay. I said, so she says you get taken just a split second right before, so you feel nothing.
yeah.
So I truly believe that. I think that's amazing. And even people that survive, like um, my ex husband was in a car wreck after we had split up, and everybody in the car that hit him passed away. And then the driver of his car was put in a body bag, but then he came back. They started
Oh,
breathing, so they brought him out. My ex husband went through the windshield, and the impact was so fierce. It ripped all of his teeth out. He had no teeth left. And it cut up all kinds of stuff and broke stuff. And I asked him, you know, do you remember the wreck? Because I'd take the kids up to the hospital to see him. He said he don't remember nothing. He remembers going to lunch at work that day. And the next thing he remembers is waking up like 2 or 3 days later after surgery. And he didn't know there was a wreck, nothing. So there's something about whether you make it or not, when it's that severe, God takes it. I think that's just amazing.
yeah, it's wild. I always thought that, then kind of along the same lines, I believe, not sure why I feel this.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be that there's that protection, or there may be a few different protection. This sounds silly, but I've always pictured drowning, like in dreams and stuff, and I've always passed out before I had to breathe in that water, and I believe that for some reason there's some type of connection there that I believe that ideally if you're drowned and if you just hold, I think that we instinctively hold our breath until that protection comes and grabs us from
Mm-hmm.
there. And
That's right.
not to say it wouldn't be terrifying, but I feel like we kind of pass out before.
Right, but from what
I
I've
don't know
been
why I
told,
felt like I should share that, but
hmm yeah, right. So even like those that have drowned, um, I think we've all heard indie stories where they drown, and I don't know for sure. This is just going off of what spirits told me on this. But even some that have drowned, they just make me feel like they held their breath for a couple seconds. And then, like if you hold it as long as you can, you're like, like that. And then they say, then I'm just over there. It's that simple. And spirit world keeps telling me passing away is so easy. It really is so easy. And yes, we may show signs over here of suffering and pain and this and that, but when they get over there, they don't remember it. If they do, it's not like the extreme horrible part of it.
yeah,
So I don't know. I mean, I say God spares you that pain. I don't know. Maybe it's our guardian angels or our guides that help us out of it. I don't know. But somehow when we get to the other side, it's gone. That's been my experience from everybody that I've talked to from the other side. you know.
yeah. And unfortunately, it's those that of us that are left here to deal with it when somebody passes that hurt.
Hmm.
Those of us that pass on,
Right.
and we all will be in no pain at all. It's those of
None.
us that are left here that are destroyed by losing
Yep.
each other.
And I heard somebody the other day on an NDE I was watching, and I thought that's so true. They're like death. I love this saying, and they said death. There's no such thing as death. Death isn't real. And I'm like, that is true. Because when we pass, we're more alive over there than we could ever be over here, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you agree on that, but I truly do. But I just love that even people, I think you're a great example with being an atheist that didn't even believe it, and still God just accepted you and loved you and was going to take you in, that type of thing. You're proof, in my opinion, that a burning hell doesn't exist. That's my opinion.
I think you're right.
Yep. And when you lose people around me, I'm reading something around you. Um, maybe I'm a little weird about this. Are you sad that they're? Let's see. How do I word it? I'm sad for me that I'm going to miss them, but I'm so happy for them. Does that make sense? Do you understand? A lot of people don't understand me on that.
Yeah, I fully understand. I've known many, many people that have passed away, and I was always happy for them. And which I now believe was a little selfish, because as I'm living through all these people passing, I'm realizing that it's me that's left here that's feeling this pain that
Mhm.
really hurts. And because I've, since I was 22, wanted to go, I feel like it's a lesson to be learned. I now believe that I'm going to outlive everybody I care about.
Right.
And
And that sucks.
that could
I
be the
mean,
most painful part,
hmm
because I watch everybody else go. And I've only got two more people and my dog that mean anything to me. So
hmm
it's like I can't lose anybody else,
I
you
know.
know.
I know.
Um, so yeah, I get what you're saying. When somebody passes, they're in a great spot, but it's
They
I
are.
don't want my daughters to feel the feeling of losing me, but I absolutely don't want to feel that feeling of losing them.
I know.
It's a weird feeling.
I tell my kids all the time, you guys better be having fun and celebrating. Because, I mean, I keep telling them, because as a parent, we know the pain like you said, that we've gone through by losing our loved ones. And we know that pain is going to be horrible for them when it comes our time. So that's the only thing that I'm like, okay, I don't want to go yet. You know what I'm saying? But if it comes my time, like I tell them, I understand you can mourn for me, be sad, but you better not dwell on it and get stuck a knife on it, because I'm having a blast over there. I said at my own mom's and dad's funeral, and I would cry because I was sad. I missed, especially mom. Like she was our first one that passed that was big in the family, and um, I sit there just heartbroken, you know. But I would get these flashes, and I don't know if it's the mediumship part of me or what, but I'd get flashes of her being happy, and I'd get flashes of her with her loved ones that she ain't seen since her parents died when she was like 19 and 20. And I would sit there and I catch myself at the funeral kind of crying, but I'm smiling because I'm like thinking she's an amazing place. But yeah, I don't know. And spirits always told me when I ask, like, it's horrible, but say, like, if somebody loses their baby or a kid, I get angry with spirit. I'm like, I used to say, come up, explain this one to me because it don't make sense. There's nothing that can make sense of losing a child or, you know, and the only response they've ever told me, and every time I ask, they tell me the same thing. That is that death is not a punishment, it's a reward. I'm like, damn it. That makes sense, but I don't like that answer still. But yeah, I'm like you, watch, we'll live to be like 200 years old. When do I get to go? No. But yeah. Okay, does anybody have any other questions for him? Let's see. Yeah, my aunt has lost everyone from childhood. And that's my biggest fear too. Somebody said they lost everybody. I'm the youngest of all of us. So I worry, am I going to be left here with nobody?
I hope not.
What did Mary Ann says, I think that was supposed to be God, look like to him? You didn't see him though, did you?
I didn't see an entity. I believe it was the light and the feeling, and I didn't have any visuals on what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lynn says, how is it a reward? Believe me, I don't understand. I see both sides to it. It's not a reward for us. I'm saying it's the one that gets to go back home. It's a reward for them.
And
Jamie says just a feeling. The light was just a feeling of God.
It's the best that I can describe it as, because there's nothing that can fully describe. It wasn't a feeling; it was so many incredible feelings, and a presence of acceptance and love that it was far beyond a feeling, but it was presented emotionally to me. I didn't visually see. I was surrounded by this incredible white light that was so incredibly bright, but not a uncomfortable in any way. It was just incredible.
A loving, warm, incredible light is what most of them say. Yeah. Marianne says, "Did you see your lost loved ones?" He didn't. You didn't. No, he didn't see them. He just connected and seen his life review. And Rebecca asked, "Did he do his life review with anyone?" It was just the light that you felt was God was there, right? I don't know if I asked that.
Yeah.
Question. Yeah. Well.
And again, it was, what was incredible is that I realized that it wasn't God judging me; it was me judging myself in front of a God. Again, there was no questions. I knew when I could have done better. There was
Mm-hmm.
no bullshitting your way around it.
Mm-hmm.
You relived it, and you had to take responsibility for it. And sometimes it felt amazing. Sometimes it didn't feel good at all.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I love your story. I love your stories. It's so, in some ways, simple, but it's so true. Every single thing you said. I have been told from Spirit World the same thing. And I just thought, there's no way this total stranger, Mike, can have all this information that Spirit World's told me and it be the same unless we're talking and you experience the same person, the same, not person, but environment that we have. I didn't have an NDE, but I'm saying communicating with the other side.
That
So,
means an awful lot. It's part of that validation. Even though
mhm.
I've seen it, I've still got things that I wonder about. And to hear somebody else that relates,
Yeah.
so so intimately relates that it's a validation that I really appreciate.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It just helps me realize that, because being what I do, I'm not, I don't think I'd be sane if I didn't question some of the stuff that pops in my head. You know what I mean? I'm like, so to hear it be validated by people that have these NDEs, I just absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
Right on.
Gina says, did you not see your loved ones because you didn't completely cross over? What's your thoughts on that?
I believe I got from my experience exactly what I needed. And I don't know at that time that I had anybody. I know that I believe my grandmother passed away before then. I
Yeah.
don't know that I had the stable full of individuals in my life that had passed now.
Right.
I think somebody might show up now, but I believe that every near death experience. Shallow, no. Sorry. Um, I know that my experience was exactly what I needed. I needed to be shown to be thoughtful and be of others. I didn't know how to. I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't know how to, which is embarrassing, but I was shown what I needed. There was no communication with others that I may have known that passed, but I believe everybody's near death experience is an awakening or an experience that's
Yep.
kind of open our eyes, or in my case, open my eyes to everything that I was overlooking. And
Mm-hmm.
so it
Well, I
served its
think,
purpose.
and like you saying, it was exactly what you needed when you needed it, this type of thing. That's exactly how readings go. Some people will be irritated, like, well, I'm wanting to hear from somebody, or I'm not winning the thank you read, or this or that I give. And I really need it, even though people think other people need it worse than me. Something about the other side, they know what we need and when we need it. And that's I guess it goes with NDEs too. Exactly what you need and when you needed it. And how old were you when that happened, did you say?
I was 22.
22. One time. Yeah. So you were just a
I'm
typical
55
22.
now, so
Yeah.
it was a good long time ago.
Yeah. So you weren't, you were just a typical 22-year-old, that doesn't think about really others that much. So we're all guilty of that. And you're not scared to die now, right? Pass away now?
No,
Not at all. Yeah.
not at all. There's,
Yeah.
there's no fear involved.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be amazing. Gonna be amazing. But I always tell people, don't go before you can't go before it's your turn. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Don't go out making anything. Don't go out trying to make anything happen. That type of thing, unaliving yourself or anything, because that doesn't really work either. So
no, it's not allowed. That's definitely one thing that no, I feel funny sometimes saying I wanted to be there so badly, and that some people that aren't thinking right may go, "Oh, that means it's okay, and
Yeah.
it's never okay.
Yeah.
That would be the deepest type of hell I can imagine. Because
Yeah.
imagine taking that gift God gave you and throwing it in the trash. I know that God knows that nobody does that in a clear mind.
Right.
You know,
And
so
that's what I always tell people. Like, have I communicated with people that have done it themselves? 100%. Are they on this side? Yes, they are. But you can't fool God. I mean, He knows if it's done due to a mental health or if you're trying to get there your way. You know what I'm saying? On your time. So I just tell people just wait. It'll eventually be your turn. So okay. Well, I thank you for coming on here and sharing your story. I'm so glad that you popped in here. Like I said, you've always been my most favorite story on there, 100%. And it's because of that door, holding that door. It's
Well, I
amazing.
appreciate you letting me share, and I'm real happy to finally connect with you.
Yeah, you
I'll
too, and anytime.
catch you here and there, but never got a chance to talk to you directly. So I appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Thank you for sharing again.
All right.
I'll
I
boot you
appreciate all you
down.
do.
Thanks, you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. That was awesome. I love his story. Holding the door. Let's show him some love. Thank you so much, Mike. We all appreciate that. That was awesome. Something as simple as holding the door could be your purpose. Okay, now I gotta shift gears. And we're gonna do that thank you read. You guys have been tapping like awesome. Okay, let's share out again if we can. And the list is open, so if people want to get on the list, let's see, what's today? Today's the 12th. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Thank you. And I think I already got like 3 or 4. Diane, how many was there? 3 or 4 for tomorrow? So, okay. All right. Oh, Teddy, you missed the part about holding the door. In his life review, he, was shown the bad things and the good things he did. And one of the things in a life review that he said was a good thing he did was simply holding the door for somebody to walk in. And also the other thing was him going back into the movie theater because he forgot to throw his trash away, and he went and picked up his trash. So it's just the little things. It's just amazing. Just the little things. Yeah, that was so awesome. Okay, boot that down. Like I said, I've heard so many NDE stories. And I think just because in a way, and it was, I think even God knew then, or, his guides or whatever. Thank you. They knew eventually down the road, years down the road, me and him would interact with one another, and he could validate some of the things that they say to me in my head that, even though I know the truth, I question, So I just think it's amazing. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mike. Okay, let's see, since it's already 8, we're just going to do a number tonight. Spirit's already told me. Just 1 second. I'm going to put it in the draw and guess. Do not start guessing yet. The number will be between 1 and 50, and you can start guessing now. You can guess as many times as you want until somebody gets the number. Wow, Hanson, you got it right off the bat. Number 12. Hanson got it. That's crazy. Very first one that I seen, Hanson got it right off the bat. The number was 12. Yeah, Had a motorcycle accident when he was 22. All right, Hanson, you want to put a request in to come up and we will start your read? I don't think Hanson's ever won. Yay, Hanson! Are you there? Are you there? Jamie, he's 55, I think he said now. Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Look at you. You finally won one, huh? First pick. Okay. All right. Who do you want me to connect you with tonight?
My mom's dad, please.
Your mom's dad. Is mom still in the room? I think I seen her in here, wasn't she?
No, she's not tonight.
Oh, must have been somebody else. Okay. Okay, so just so people know, Hanson does get read by me a lot. They seem to bring through new information. A lot of times they need to go and validate stuff with their mom, but they usually come back and able to validate everything they said. For the most part, right, Hanson?
Yes.
Okay, right off the bat, they tell me R. R. Who's the R name?
Um,
Let me make sure this ain't the other grandpa trying to come through. If so, I'll push him back and get the other one.
yeah, I'm not remembering an R name connected
Okay.
with my mom's dad.
What about your dad's dad? Is the R name connected with your dad's dad?
I believe so, yes.
They're making my ear ring, though. Okay. We're going to. Okay. I said that can't be right if you're ringing the ear. Okay. And they said ring, rang, rain. I said, what? So, okay, we're going about that. You know how they work in my head. Okay. Is there something about rain? Has it been raining there today?
It's been raining a lot.
Okay. I know that seems weird, but that's what they led me to. Okay, let's keep going here. Also 13 or 31, or they could be talking about the month of March.
The month of March makes sense.
Okay. I heard cowboy, and then I seen military, and then they said what this is exactly what they did to me. Cowboy, military, Western. Was he into Westerns? Or was he in the military? Or cowboy stuff?
He wasn't in the military. But I think I understand the cowboy reference.
Okay. Is there something about Westerns also? Does somebody like Westerns that he would be acknowledging or talking about?
My brother does.
Your brother. Okay. Who bites their lip? He's sitting here biting my lip really bad. Who bites their lip right here? Or nervous bite.
I tend to do that sometimes.
Okay. Have you been stressed or nervous lately? And he's just acknowledging that?
Yeah, I have been.
Okay. He says, relax. Just relax. Relax. Okay. Boy, he sure is making my ear ring a lot tonight. Okay, yes or no only? Were you or mom there with him when he passed?
Yes.
He's showing me it looks like a spirit coming out of a body laying on a table. Did somebody, when he passed, see something or seen mist of something
I don't
for him
think
to
so,
show this to
but
you?
I can
Ask
double check.
ask your mom, okay? So a mist or even if like thing is when I'm seeing it go up, I'm not seeing anybody reacting to it. So here's the thing, I think maybe mom knew before he actually passed, like he's no longer there.
Hmm.
And I think he's trying to validate that for your mom or somebody that was there that witnessed that, okay?
Okay.
Knew when the soul left. Now, was he tubed? What was that?
Um, I think she may have been, but I can double check. My mom would know because she was there with him.
Either tubed or something, that swallowing or something. Now, right as I was getting ready to say, is he tubed? I heard some. I thought my cat. You know how a cat will go, that type of thing. I heard that behind me, and I turned around. The cat wasn't on the bed. So, also, just in case he's trying to say, he has got my ear ringing like crazy. Okay, so just in case like mom seen him choking or something or has a memory of that or anything type of memory associated with that, he's just bringing it up so that a way whoever witnessed that, and believe me, it sticks with you. I seen it with my dad. um just to let them know it was okay. They weren't hurting, okay?
Hmm.
Tubed, gagged. So some of you did hear, Jamie, you did hear that behind me? I thought so. Make time of that, 8:54. 8:54. I'm going to check the video. Okay. And who is the strong S name, or else they're either saying summer or summertime to me, or Susan. Is there a strong S or SU name?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And is this grandpa's wife still here?
Yes.
How come he keeps bringing her up and showing me her? And I
Um,
keep asking. The reason I knew, I kept saying, is she with you? And he kept pushing her away, meaning she was still here. Okay.
hmm.
Is she not in the best of health? Is she going through something?
Well, he married twice, and his one of his wives has passed away. So maybe that's what he's acknowledging. But
Okay.
one of his wives is still alive.
The one that's still here is the one he's acknowledging. So is she
Okay.
still, I mean, is she going through something?
She's 80 years old now, so she's slowing down, and she's has a lot of memory problems.
Okay. And I would even accept if maybe she's going through something where she's having swallowing issues or else having testing done or something like that. Okay. That
Okay.
gagging and all that could have been associated with that. And is there a Michael or Michaela? Who's strong?
My mom's name is, or my mom's name is Michelle.
Oh, okay. I knew that, even though I didn't remember it. I knew that, so acknowledged it, but you know me, I'm strict on myself. So okay, what else? think he's handing you a donut or else a donut on a conveyor belt. Okay, so let's talk about this. Yes or no? Does him showing me a donut or else a donut on a conveyor belt make any sense? Did anybody work at a bakery or like Edmonds or a factory where donuts were made? Or did you just have a donut today or something like that?
Well, 2 days ago, my mom and my grandma and I, we
Mm-hmm.
went to Krispy Kreme,
Did you?
and
Okay.
my grandma, who ironically you were just talking about, was staring at the conveyor belt with the donuts coming, on them, and she
Oh,
was she was watching them make the donuts for a few minutes, and it was kind of funny.
now see, I didn't even know Krispy Kreme done that in there. Okay. That is awesome. So he's just trying to say he was there with you guys when that happened. Okay.
Okay, that's
That's
pretty cool.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay. What else, Grandpa? He's acknowledging my bottom teeth. I don't know if they hurt or if they're partials. Somebody has some partials, or is somebody needing partials down here? Or does somebody put
Um,
something? See how he keeps making me do that?
I don't think anyone has partials on the bottom of their teeth, but I recently had a tooth pulled. I'm not sure if that's relevant, but it was on the bottom of my mouth.
It was the bottom. Okay. I would accept
Uh-huh.
that. The bottom of the mouth. Okay. Is there a Heather or a strong H name he would be acknowledging?
Yes.
Okay. And he's saying two to me. Does he only have two kids or was he second born?
He was one of two. I think he was the second born.
He's one of two. Okay.
Yes. And he also had two children.
Now I'm not sure if he's trying to tell me what is six. He don't have six or four grandkids, does he? Six or
Um,
four.
he has four grandkids.
Four grandkids. Okay. How come he's trying to throw a six in there with it, though? I want to make sure he doesn't have two great grands, does he?
No, he
Okay,
doesn't.
he got more than that. Okay, so he was just trying to tell me before. Okay. Nope, he keeps coming back to the six. Is there something about the month of June also that he would be acknowledging? Or the six of a month or 6 years? Has he been gone 6 years? Anything like that?
I think my cousin's birthday was on March 6th.
Okay. March 6th. That was my daughter's birthday. Is my daughter's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just his way of saying happy birthday to him. Okay, what else, Grandpa? He's telling me 11 or the month of November. Is there something about 11 or November?
Yes.
Okay. He's either saying asinine, ass, or Asian. It's asinine, S. Okay. Did he or somebody else say like, oh, that's asinine a lot?
That I don't know. I'll have to
Okay.
ask.
If not, is there a reason he'd say ass or Asian?
I don't think so, but I can ask.
Asinine. Ass. Okay, let me talk to him a second.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on that one.
Oh, I am too. He flashed it so quick. Asinine. Asinine. Or is there something about chemicals? Okay. Chemicals. Only other thing I would accept is if there's a unique A name that he's trying to tell me, or unique A town or street.
Um,
Keep all of that in mind, okay?
mhm.
Yes or no only. Did he pass of cancer, or was his body ate up with something? Or was it throughout his body something, whether it be an infection?
Yeah, it was sort of throughout his body.
Okay. And he's telling me the month of February. Is there something about February? Did he get
Um,
sick in February? Diagnosed with something in February? Anniversary? Did him and grandma meet in February? Anything like that?
I'll have to look that one up. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Did anything take place this past last month? Now that I think about it.
Um, Nothing too crazy. I'll
No.
have to look that one up.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. He is backing away, but as he backs away, he reaches down and he picks up the smaller dog. Kind of looks like Pomeranian or Yorkie or maybe a poodle, but it's a smaller looking dog. Does he or do you guys have a dog that's on the other side that would fit that description?
He may have had a dog. I'm not too sure.
Okay. And is there a Libby or a Lippy or a Liddy or something like that?
Yes, an L name would make sense.
Okay. He is backing up. He's patting his chest. As he backs up, he goes, "You deserve this one." That's what he said. I'm getting, you deserve this one. I said, okay.
That's
Let's
funny.
see what he's going to give you signs. And he is throwing up butterflies. A whole bunch of butterflies. Okay.
Can I ask him a question?
You sure can.
Okay. My mom recently had surgery
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and I guess I'm just wondering if, he was there for that and if he maybe had anything he wanted to say to my mom regarding her surgery. She's going through a lot.
Okay, let's go back to that tubing down
Hmm.
the throat. Okay. That may have been what he was talking about. Let's see if he says anything about it. Was the surgery due, like, was it
Because I've been kind of worrying about it.
meaning if it's safe?
Just for a lot of factors. It's my first real home by myself after college and just kind of worried
Mm-hmm.
about it in general. And it's kind of
Okay.
far away from work and everything.
His response when you first asked, he says, "You gotta live your life. Gotta, gotta eventually do it." That type of thing. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
He's not making me feel anything negative about it. Okay.
Okay, good. I've just been worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah. He just says, "Be smart about it. Be smart."
Okay. And
Okay. Anything
ironically,
else?
The reason why I chose 12
Oh
is
yeah.
because today is his birthday. And so that's why I chose 12 because, today is his day. He was born on the 12th of March.
That is awesome,
And
especially, and that's proof right there that I get it, the numbers from Spirit World. 100%. You know, um, he knew it was his birthday and that way he could talk to you, you know. That's
and
just
it's
awesome.
it's funny that he said I was owed this one. I always guess 12, and that's probably why
Do you
he said
really?
that. Yeah, that's usually one of my numbers that I'll guess.
Well, I know one time you were like right there with somebody. It was about a month or so ago, and you were like, "Well, I guessed it first." You know, I seen that kind of in there, but I kept going up, and I mean, I went all the way up before I even started it, and I never once seen the number you list it until after that first one. But that's
Uh-huh.
just like goes to show, like I was just talking with Mike, like there's a reason for everything, you know, the
Hmm.
reason that person needed that reading for some reason.
Exactly. The timing of it made sense
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yep. Yep.
Well, thank you for the free reading and for connecting with him on his birthday. My mom and I
You are so
appreciate it.
welcome. It was so welcome. I'll
All
talk to
right.
you
Thank you.
later.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
hon. Okay, guys, so I'm freezing. Let me reset. Okay. Not anymore. Let me check my Wi-Fi. I think my Wi-Fi's, I think like the weather's been affected. It's very windy out. I keep getting like my bar is a full bar, but then it keeps going down one bar and then back up. Down one bar. Yep. I do want to grab my laptop really quick and try to log into my other account so you guys, everybody here, can follow me on that. So give me 1 second, okay? Owie, owie, owie. Hi, Boo Boo. What are you doing? Yeah, I kind of am. Well, you tossed me in some fries. Oh, well, I mean, they're old, but I'll be right there, guys. Just a second. Hey, honey, will you grab me a Dr. Pepper? Yeah, just crisp them up, yeah, for when I get done. Okay. Oh, I'm getting serious now, folks. Bringing out the sody. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I appreciate them. And those tabs. I'm going to do is I'm going to try to log into my other account, join this live. List is still open if anybody wants on it. Did I yawn, Jamie? My granddaughter came over today. Where's my laptop? I said, that ain't your laptop. Then she asked Daddy. She asked Daddy, she says, Daddy, can I have an ice cream? He goes, no, May. No, I told you you're not coming over here and just going to eat snacks all day. Oh. A couple minutes later, she walks up. She goes, Daddy? He goes, what? She goes, how about you go home for a while? I said, no. No, little girl. I said, Eric, you realize what she's doing, right? He goes, yes. She wants me to go home so she can ask you for an ice cream. I said, exactly. Which the ice creams are just those all natural fruit bars because they're really strict on stuff, you know, with them. And I don't know how to do this. How do I get off of this? I'm not really good on this with the computer. Well, okay, there I am. I'm on both. So what I'm going to do, okay, hold on just a second, guys. Okay, there I am. I'm on both. So what I'm going to do, okay, hold on just a second, guys. No, I don't want to end this live.